The missed call at 3:00 a.m. Javier woke up at the start. His phone was vibrating insistently on the nightstand. With sleep-heavy eyes, he reached out and looked at the screen. It was a call from an unknown number. He checked the time, 3:00 a.m. He remained still for a moment, his heart pounding. There was no reason for anyone to call him at that hour. Hesitantly, he slid his finger across the screen and answered. "Hello?" His voice came out thick, barely a whisper in the darkness. There was no response, just a dense silence, interrupted by a faint murmur on the other end. Something like breathing. A chill ran down his spine. "Who is this?" He insisted, feeling that something about the call was off. Suddenly, a barely perceptible whisper slipped through the speaker. "You shouldn't have answered." The call abruptly ended. Javier stared at the screen, feeling a knot form in his stomach. He tried calling back, but the operator responded with a cold, "The number you have dialed does not exist." His sleep vanished completely. He sat on the bed, trying to find a logical explanation. Maybe it was a prank, or perhaps a network error. But something about that voice unsettled him. A spectral tone, as if it came from a distant place, from a world he didn't belong to. He tried to ignore it and lay back down. But just as he was drifting off, his phone vibrated again. The same number. His heart jumped. With a trembling hand, he slid the screen to answer. Now, the sound on the other end was different. A murmur, clearer this time, as if someone was whispering directly into his ear. "Don't look out the window." Panic took hold of him. His room was completely silent. Only the faint glow of the street lamp filtering through the curtains. Something told him he shouldn't listen, but fear and curiosity won out. Slowly, he turned his head toward the window. His blood ran cold. Outside, in the deserted street, a figure stood motionless under the street lamp. It was tall and thin, with an unnatural posture. He couldn't see its face, but something about its silhouette paralyzed him. His stomach churned when the figure slowly tilted its head to one side, as if it knew he was watching. The phone slipped from his hands. He couldn't move. He couldn't breathe. Then, the phone rang again. With immense effort, he picked it up with trembling fingers and looked at the screen. This time, there was no number, just a single word. "Open." Javier felt something behind him. He didn't have time to turn around. A dry, cracking sound echoed in the room. The closet door creaked open slowly, its hinges groaning. Javier felt the urge to run, but his body wouldn't respond. His phone slipped from his grasp and hit the floor with a dull thud. The room was shrouded in darkness, but he could make out a shadow inside the closet. Something moved. A guttural breathing sound emerged from within, deep and inhuman. With wide eyes, he tried to scream, but his throat could only produce a faint gasp. Then, the shadow slid out of the closet. A tall, skeletal figure with elongated limbs and ashen skin hunched under the doorway. Its face was blurry, distorted, as if its form wasn't fully anchored in this world. Javier felt a crushing weight on his chest, as if an invisible hand was pressing down on him. He wanted to move, but his body was frozen. The creature moved closer, its breath icy against his skin. With slow, unnatural motions, it raised a bony hand and pointed at the fallen phone. The phone vibrated once more. This time, the screen showed something different. A video had started playing. Javier, his heart pounding, saw a shaky image of his own bedroom. The recording showed his bed, his nightstand, and himself sleeping. But there was something else. Behind him, in the video, stood the tall, thin figure that was now in front of him. The video cut off abruptly. The phone screen went dark. The silence was unbearable. Then he felt cold breath against his ear. A guttural voice whispered, "You shouldn't have looked." Javier screamed. The lights flickered and went out. Everything plunged into absolute darkness. The next morning, his bedroom door was open, his bed untouched, his phone resting on the nightstand. But Javier was no longer there.